Welcome to How You an Adjuster. This is Curtis Horge, a licensed and bonded public insurance adjuster. I want to thank you for tuning in today. Got a special show I want to give out to the property owner so you'll know what to do before you start your repairs. Check this out. Welcome back to How You an Adjuster. This is Curtis Horge. I want to talk to people to tell the property owners before you start your repairs. Before you start your repairs, you need to determine if you have enough to get the work done. If you know your claim is grossly underpaid, you need to hire a public adjuster like myself to come in and help you to get what you're rightfully entitled from the insurance company. We come out and do billing estimates and contents inventories to help you get back everything the insurance company owe you. Everything has to be documented. How will you know? How will you know if you have enough money to finish the job or get your repairs done? Well, normally a contractor, a good contractor, can kind of look at your estimate and say, hey, it's not enough here to get this job done. Most contractors know a lot about construction and know what it entails to get things done. And they can look at what the insurance company proceeds have paid out, and they can say, this is not enough. At that time, you need to make a decision to hire a public adjuster. Now, contractors can't hire public adjusters. Property owners can hire public adjusters. We only work first-party claims. We work with you, with your insurance company. Now, they can recommend me. They can refer me, and you have to reach out to me, and I'd love to talk to you about your claim and see what we can do to help you get what's rightfully yours. When you engage with the contractor, you're supposed to provide him with your estimate. Yes, you give your contractor your estimate from the insurance company to see exactly what they paid for so you know what has to be done. It's not a bid job. It's not a bid job. You can't go get 3 different contractors and try to get it done for cheaper and whatever the cheapest one, you go with this guy and then, you can't do that. If there was not a claim, it'll be a bid job. If somebody's adding a room onto your house or to your property, adding some additional square footage, then you can get a bid for that. This is an insurance claim, which means it has to be done according to the insurance company's estimate. Everything on that estimate has to be done and prepared where they have it listed. The contractor looks at it. He says not enough funds to get this done. Y'all reach out to a public adjuster. The public adjuster gets involved. The public adjuster goes to work to identify these areas where the insurance company have underpaid the claim. And then they go to work on trying to get the insurance company to pay what is owed. That's the way that works. The reason why the contractor has to see your estimate because he has to account for all that money the insurance company pays you. There's a part you play where you have a deductible. That's your portion to pay. The rest of the claim is what the insurance company paid minus the depreciation, which is normally recoverable once the work is performed. So once you get your estimate, your contractor sees not enough, you call a public adjuster, the public adjuster comes out, works the claim, gets the claim where it needs to be. Then you move on with your repairs. You're good to go. But here's the deal. I know premiums are high. I know people are having high deductibles and high premiums, and the coverages are being decreased as we speak. I told you, every time they change the policy, it's not for us, it's for them. It's for them to take advantage of not paying a specific part of their policy. That's just the way it is. It's a business. If a natural catastrophe hits Texas, the policies change, because they don't want to be on the hook for that again. So they change policies to make harder conditions to where everybody won't fall on that umbrella when that claim or that disaster happens again. That's where it is. They'll make you pay higher premiums to have coverage like you did before, but they don't offer that anymore because, it's a catastrophe came in and they've changed the conditions to what you have to get coverage, and that's the way it works. Sometimes they'll put exclusions on the policy. They'll put endorsements on the policy that will limit the coverage of what you can get covered in that area. That's the way it is. That is the business. That is the insurance company. The contractor has to make sure that he perform everything on that estimate that the insurance company provided. And then most insurance companies are saying that they want you to prove that you paid your deductible. They realize that a lot of people have been saving deductibles now in the Texas Department of Insurance. It's fraud for roofers to come out and say, hey, I can save you your deductible, or you got to pay your deductible. We'll put that in the fees and get the roof done. Nothing out of your pocket. That's kind of fraud, and they made that illegal. So they wanted to prove that property owners are paying their deductible. So what they do, in that depreciation that they hold back, that's held back because of wear and tear or usage you've had, how old the paint is, how old the wood is, how old the floor is, whatever. And they hold back a certain amount of depreciation based on life expectancy. So that money is recoverable on most policies. Some policies only carry actual cash value, which means whatever they give you up front, that's all you're getting. Some policies have replacement costs, where that means they hold that money back, and once the work's performed, they give you the whole back on the claim. Now they're saying you want to make sure you paid your deductible. So they hold the depreciation of the insurance coming into you provide documentation, maybe a canceled check showing the back and the front that it actually went through a banking facility and was cleared, showing that you paid your deductible before they give you the depreciation withheld. So if you didn't pay your deductible, the money that you have held back is not being paid out. That's their way of saying, hey, we want to make sure you're doing your part. So it's every day it changes. There's a lot of different things in the industry that's happening right now. That's just one of the things insurance companies are start doing to try to make it more difficult for people to try to get away with not paying their deductible. And who wants to go through trying to run a check through the bank to try to prove that you paid a deductible? I mean, nobody. It's just too much trouble. I mean, just pay your deductible, write the check out, give it to your contractor, let him complete the repairs. That's your deductible plus the insurance company proceeds equals the total amount of the claim. Deductible is always taken out of the claim. So if your claim is $50,000 and your deductible is $5,000, they take out the $5,000, leave you $45,000. Then they take $10,000 depreciation, holding it back because of the wear and tear of the uses of how your house elements were: sheetrock, paint, flooring, whatever it may be, brick. They hold it back a certain amount of depreciation of $10,000. I mean, they give you $35,000 up front. So in order to get that $10,000 they hold back in depreciation, you got to show you a $5,000 check to your contractor showing that you paid your deductible. And then once you do that, they release that $10,000 they held back on the claim. They're making it more difficult, more steps to go through. And companies are following suit. Some big companies are doing that, so smaller companies are following. That's what's happening. But it's the right thing to do. I mean, you're supposed to pay your deductible. I mean, you're not supposed to get away with not paying your deductible. But I will say this. Sometimes you can fix your house any way you want to fix your house. If you had carpet, you want to go back with hardwood, you can do that. If you had tile, you want to go with carpet, you can do that. And you can also use the other money to do other things in your house that was not a part of the claim within the budget of what the insurance company worked. So they can't tell you how to fix your house. They owe you for what you have inside your house, like, kind, and quality, but you can fix your house where you want to fix your house. You can pick the colors. If it's within the budget, you can do whatever it takes to fix your house the way you want to fix your house. Now, some people I've seen where they put their own money with the insurance company's proceeds, and they do extra stuff inside their house. You can do that, but they're not responsible for your upgrades. Only upgrades they may be responsible for if there's a discontinued item, like a discontinued material that no longer makes. They use something else that's more compatible now. They owe for that. Or any code upgrades that the city require you to have that you didn't have inside your house when it was built. There's now a code you have to build it like this or have it like that. They owe that. But it's all based on your policy to make sure you have the coverage for these things. Your policy is like the Bible of your claim. That's how we read through your policy to make sure you take advantage of those benefits, because the policy is like a book. It's 50, 60 pages. The real policy is 50, 60 pages or more. I've had policies over 300 pages. It takes a day to go through a policy like that to make sure you capitalize on all the hidden coverages that's in that policy. That's why when an adjuster says he's not paying for something, and I know it's in the policy, I say, you need to check your policy. And I go back and reference that policy and send it to him, and he pay it. But if I didn't read that policy, I wouldn't be able to capitalize on something like that. So my dad told me, he said, the more you know the policy, the more you can help people. And that is like the golden rule of public adjusting. But anyway, I want to tell you, don't start your repairs if you feel like you're grossly underpaid. Hire a public adjuster. If you feel like you do have enough money, then don't call a public adjuster to try to squeeze the issue coming for another $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000. That's not why we're in the business. We're not in the business to take advantage of the insurance company. We want to make sure they pay what they owe. And sometimes, it's just a situation where the adjuster missed it. And we can show them, hey, this not correct, it's like this. And we can correct that. That could be a $20,000 mistake. I mean, it happens. I'm not saying these guys are like crooks or anything like that. I mean, I'm just trying to say nobody's perfect. So we need to make sure you get a second opinion to make sure everything is, all your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed, until you got everything that's coming to owe you. So that's what a public adjuster does. So I want to tell you, like I said, I don't take claim where people try to gouge the insurance company to try to, squeeze more they can squeeze. If you got enough money to fix your house, fix your property, fix your property. I mean, don't call us with stuff like you're trying to see if they missed anything, or that's not why we're in the business. Thank you very, very much for your time and your consideration. This is Homeowner Adjuster with Curtis Horge, your licensed and bonded public insurance adjuster. My company's National Adjustment Services. We're located in Mesquite, Texas. I want to say like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. We got a lot of more shows coming. I want to thank you for your time. Have a blessed one.